What's up, YouTube and Facebook? It is Ecom Rebel. What's happening? I know it's hot here. It's hot here in Brisbane, Australia. What a scorcher up we've had today. And it's still hot. We even had a storm come through and it's still hot. So I'm a little bit hot at the moment. But that's okay. I'll put my little fan on, I think, just to cool me down a little bit. It's probably going to be a bit of background noise, but hey, I don't want to die here. Okay, so normally I get into a winner from the last post, but tonight I'm doing something different. So tonight, I don't know, I might even do this. Might do this every night. Not sure yet. I might just mix it up a little bit. But basically, I'm only giving away $10 worth of Bitcoin Cash to whoever's on live tonight. So normally I give it to anyone that's posted a comment or question previously. But what I'm going to do tonight is we're going to have a winner drawn from the live thing tonight. So we've got a couple of people watching, just started watching now. You guys are definitely in the chance to win it. So basically what I'll do is I'm going to probably ask a question, and I'll get you guys to respond, and I'll pick a winner. I'll let you know beforehand what I'm going to do. So you might have to pay attention to what I'm talking about. I might try and teach you something or learn something. And if you remember what it is, might be something like that. I don't know. Or I might just randomly pick someone. Or if you ask a good question, maybe I'll pick you for that. But I just want you guys to use your time. If you've got a little bit of time now, probably another half an hour, to ask some questions, and I'll be too happy to help you out. So I'll do my best. If I don't know the answer, we'll try and find out the answer together. Alrighty, so no winner at the moment. We'll be drawing that soon once I get to see you guys on here. So let me just, I think YouTube has changed something with the chat. I'm just going to check that out and see if that makes any difference. I'm going to put something in here into the chat, and so they got a new feature called live chat and top chat. So if anyone spams or anything like that, it actually removes them, so that's good. G'day Stan, how you doing? Well done, you're on board for tonight. You're in the chance to win some Bitcoin Cash. How exciting. G'day Andre, how you doing? So I think you asked that question before, so I'm glad you're on the live now. What do I think about the last Ripple being good news? Well, let's get into it. Let's check it out and see what the news, because I saw something for Ripple. Someone was going to what was it? Use their services or something like that. It was some interesting news, but to be honest with you, Ripple doesn't excite me too much, so I don't really pay too much attention. But Andre, do you know what the news was? Put it in the live so can let everyone know. G'day Audrey, how you doing? Let's have a look at. Let's have a look at the market now. This morning when I got up, I had a look at the market and I thought it was pretty much green, across the board. And then when it comes to when I do the live stream later in the night, we're getting red. And this seems to be that pattern I was talking about, where in the morning it's green, and then following day, during the rest of the day, it starts to back off a bit. So at the moment, we've got Bitcoin around about 8,600 at minus 2%. Ethereum at 837, down about 3%. Ripple at $1. So there wasn't really too much movement on Ripple. Bitcoin Cash down minus 5, 1,221. Cardano at 36 cents, down 6%. Litecoin at 155, down nearly 3%. And Neo, $111, down just under 2%. Stellar, what do we get? 38 cents for Stellar, down nearly 4%. EOS at number 9 at $8.96, nearly at the same price there. It hasn't really changed much. And at number 10, IOTA, $1.77, down about 5%. Now the markets were up earlier in the day, and there's still actually some that have done well. So Ethereum Classic 32.75 went up 23%. So that was pretty good. Nothing else, too many changes. There was a little bit of a move by this one called Revain. I don't know too much about the one, but I did see that come through. And a nice move from Z Classic. Wonder if you guys caught one of my videos I just did recently on Z Classic. I was talking about the upcoming Bitcoin private fork, and there was a few people saying, hey, you know, how you can make money when the market's going down, it's been terrible and all that sort of stuff. So I dedicated pretty much a whole video live stream on Z Classic and Bitcoin. It has a private fork coming up. Now, since this has happened, Z Classic, we're looking at $120. We have a look at a last 7 days. And I think when I looked at this price, it was about 105. So it has gone up a little bit already. And this was, I'll just put that on 7 days. So we have a look at that one. Yeah, I have to double check when exactly the day I did that video. But essentially, we've had a nice rise up to, I think it went as high as $120. I still think we're going to see a lot more people get into this to gain that Bitcoin private that's coming up. At the moment, it's expected to be 28th of February. Within 2 days, they're looking at the mainnet. So, yeah, that's very interesting. So I just thought I'd let you guys know about that. Z Classic up at least 16% already. It's probably from where it was. I'd say from $1.05, it's gone up a bit from when I was talking about, sorry, 105 when I was talking about it previously. It did dip a little bit, and then it regained that. So, all right. So that was interesting. I had a look at some of the news. Now, you'll notice something with the news, right? The news currently is pretty lame. It's pretty boring. Do you remember the news in like the last month, what was going on with every single day? It was like banning this, Bitcoin's going to get banned. South Korea and North Korea, and the news nearly every single day was, you know, crazy. It was basically... just, you know, I'll call it FUD, right? Basically, the news was negative in this last month, and it's interesting to see that a lot of that news has stopped. So then at the moment you see, oh, you know, Bitcoin has dropped, blah blah blah, but even the normal mainstream news, you're not hearing much anymore. I'm not seeing any major headlines. So this is something to take note of. So when you see news with a lot of FUD and it's making new highs, you know, and a lot of these things going on with uncertainty, people are worried about what's going to happen. This causes the average person to sell out of their position, to take back and get back into cash and not hold on to Bitcoin or any crypto. So this is something to be aware of in the future. When you go into the future and you see this sort of behavior going on, there's two things. If you want to hold long term, that's not a problem. But you got to remember that a lot of people are swayed by, you know, what they see in the news and stuff like that. Just like they see that, you know, hey, you can make a lot of money in crypto, and then they hear about it on the news and mainstream pushing it, and then they come into the space, and then it pushed the price up to 20K, and then it's, you know, gone back down to, you know, 5.5K, and then all those people go, oh, this lost my money in Bitcoin or whatever. So you just remember that what you see in the news. So at the moment, there's hardly anything happening on really, it's like boring, I would say. The most interesting thing I saw was Iceland. Crypto mining companies will consume more energy than the households in 2018. So basically, just like we talked about Russia previously, a lot of the Chinese mining is moving into Russia, and also green, I think it was Iceland's, yeah, moving into Iceland, basically because it's cold and price of electricity is cheap. Okay, so that was interesting. There wasn't really much else that was interesting. I didn't see anything. There was Russia was talking about something to do with ICOs, and they need 1.7 million capital. I believe before they actually do the ICO. Yes, there was nothing exciting going on at all, and you know what? That's a good thing. In Twitter, always some good stuff in Twitter. So there was some interesting stuff with Litecoin. I talked about a Litecoin previously, and I'll bring it up again. So with Litecoin, there was a jump just recently, and we'll bring up a chart. Let's have a look at a chart now. We'll go to Coingy. So Litecoin is bringing out LitePay, right? And it's like anything. When your coin or your token, or whatever you have, becomes more useful, has more utility, it's going to increase in value. All right. So Bitcoin at the moment, its utility in terms of paying for transfers, it's diminishing. More and more merchants are getting rid of crypto. So I look after a website, right? And with that website, we have membership, and up till recently, we were taking Bitcoin. Okay, because of the high transaction fees, got rid of Bitcoin. So now we only accept Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Dash, and what's the third one? I'm just trying to think what the third one is. Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Dash, and I can't think of the other one. That's all right. If I think of it, I thought it was 4. That's right. It might only be 3. So basically, got those. And why? It's because the fees are inexpensive and it's very fast for transactions. There's a whole bunch of other places that have dumped Bitcoin for transactions. So I'm not saying that the value is gone, because a lot of people still treat it like gold, where they can hold it in value but not use it as transactions. But that's not what made Bitcoin, cool in the first place. What made it cool is when you could transfer on your phone, send it to someone and send it back, and it hardly cost anything at all. And so now we're seeing Litecoin, they're introducing lower fees, that they've actually started coding that in, and we'll see that come through the wallets. Dash has already done this, and it's not even registering as 1 cent now with that. So I think they're trying to compete with Dash in that respect, and also possibly trying to compete with Bitcoin Cash. And this is what I see for Litecoin. So we might just briefly talk about a Litecoin while we've got on here. So let's have a look at daily. Go to 1 day. Now we're on, I think we're on Bitfinex. Yeah, we'll have a look over here. It might tell us. Yeah, we're on Bitfinex. All right, so we had the big move in December, like a lot of crypto. Now we've went down to just about $110 was the low, and we've had a bit of a jump. We're back up to currently 154. All right, now it has been this trend, but it does look like we're kicking out of it across the whole market. It does look like we're moving sideways. I mean, it could, we could get this drop here, but Litecoin is definitely, when you have a look at Twitter. So if we'll just switch back to Twitter for a second. Now this is what a person I follow calls Squeeze, Crypto Squeeze. So he's very interesting what he talks about, and he's very bullish on Litecoin. Reason was the LTC BTC ratio is at multi-year highs. So if we have a quick look at that, so we look at Litecoin versus BTC. Okay, so even though USD hasn't changed, check out this graph. So as you can see, this is back on about May the 6th of January, and now we're at the 4th of February here, and today's date 13th. So we've had this pretty big jump, and it's basically went from here, leveled up, back down again, and leveled up again. So we're at this stage here. So remember before, against Bitcoin, it was quite low, but it's actually moving to new highs. So we're getting up into this area again here with Litecoin against Bitcoin. So this is a good sign, and partly the reason is the adoption. Every day you'll see new things happening with Litecoin. So This is, you may not have heard it, but Litecoin Cash fork. They're talking 18th of February, even though it's not part of Litecoin. Someone's planning on basically doing a fork of Litecoin, okay? And they're calling it Litecoin Cash. So I don't have too many details on that, but it's coming up on the 18th. Then there's LitePay. Now, at the moment, he's got the date as 26th of February. This is pretty interesting. So you've got this LitePay. Now, if it works as advertised, and literally you can be paid in fiat, they might roll out different countries and stuff like that. But essentially, if you can accept Litecoin and get paid in fiat, and they're pretty good on the fees, and it works really well and seamlessly, that's going to be a huge benefit for Litecoin. Okay, so this is something that is really interesting. So if you're bullish on Litecoin, definitely looking at Litecoin making some gains. So as you can see on the chart, this is where it is at the moment. Looking on the daily chart, and yeah, with all this, because it's a fundamental thing that happens with these coins. You'll see the price, but why does that happen? It happens because fundamentally things are happening in the background. It could be that they're increased adoption. They've got more and more processes. And every day on the Twitter feeds, I see both Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin really pushing out the number of merchants they have. And soon, once they get hit like a big merchant, that they can get more and more people over to their coin and use it first, it's going to make a massive difference. So I'm pretty bullish on both Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin. And of course, I haven't mentioned too much with Dash, but Dash is sitting in the background, and we're going to see some big gains. You'll see some gains when you'll just see go bang, it'll just move, and people will be going, why did Dash just go up? And the reason is they're getting closer and closer with their software they're developing to basically as simple that your grandmother could use it for transactions, making it as simple as PayPal to use. So yeah, so that's pretty exciting stuff. So you guys that are on live, I think I've got Audrey, Andrea, g'day Chanel, how you doing? So you guys are live, so which is excellent. I'm just going to pop this chat out so I can see you guys a little bit better. So if you guys have got any questions, now I've got some questions that I've seen that other people have asked, but you guys are here. I want you to ask a question that you would like to maybe get an answer to, or something you're thinking about, and we'll go find out about that. So while you're putting your questions in, see, even if you want to look at some coins, we'll do that. And while we're doing that, I'll have a look at CoinDesk for that news on Ripple. Coindesk.com. Okay, so Chanel wants me to look at BHC, which we can have a look at that one. I'm on CoinDesk at the moment, so let's have a look at, see if we can see the news on Ripple. Look, poor old BitConnect lawsuits are piling up in Florida. All right. Maybe it's on the next page. Did I see it at the top? We'll go to the next page. No, there's nothing else there. Let's just do a search for Ripple, see if I can find it. Ah. Okay, here we go. So UAE remittance firm partners with DLT startup Ripple. So they've inked a new partnership. Now, I don't know if we really saw that with a movement in the Ripple's price there, but it was reported last year that the company was doing something with the company. 800 branches, 31. Now, as far as I know, like, just so transparent, Ripple, they're using Ripple's technology to make these transfers. But as far as I'm aware, these banks are not buying the Ripple token to make these transfers. Okay, I have not seen any indication of that. And let's have a look. The company will not use Ripple's XRP token as part of its deal. Instead, the exchange will use Ripple's broader technology stack for executing transactions. So, just to be clear, this is something that people get confused about with Ripple, because it's portrayed out there that the banks are going to use Ripple, the banks are going to use XRP, the banks are going to buy XRP off the open market for millions and billions of dollars so they can transfer. Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. Okay, so this part here where it says the company will not use Ripple's XRP as part of the deal, I can guarantee this is what's going to happen and continue to happen in the future. They might use the technology behind Ripple, but I can guarantee they will not be using this XRP token, because it does not work like that. But if you believe that, then you're misled, okay? And if you think that buying Ripple is because you think the banks are going to buy it in the future, that's not going to happen at all. All right, so I just want to set you so straight. All right, we've got some good questions. Thanks for pointing out that with Ripple, though. So if you are excited about Ripple, this does sound like good news, but to me, it's irrelevant because they're not going to use it. The banks aren't going to use XRP token. All right, so we might have a look at BHC. Let's have a look at some of the other questions. Is the market still on bearish and will affect the Chinese New Year's? Okay, so just to point out what I would class as bull and bearish. Right now, you hear, oh, it's a bear market, blah blah blah. No, it's not a bear. It's not a bear market at all. If we went from if we went from 20K all the way back to $100 in Bitcoin, and that lasted 12 months, I would say we're in a bearish market. Okay, but all we are in now, are we just back to where it is November? Okay, just before it went up to 20K. So we're at that level. It's like we're back in November before it took off, and it's just mosey along up. So even though it's went up a lot and come back down, I don't consider that like a bear market. Okay, that's just, it just went crazy. They've basically the price has come down, but I wouldn't consider a bear market. Some people go, oh, it's the crypto winter. That's another one that I've heard. I mean, it's a funny little thing to say, but no, this is not a crypto winter or anything like that. In my understanding of it, this is just simply, this could be a month or two before we move on out of this and start to make some gains again. Whereas some previous years, where I think after Mt. Gox, when it was at $1,000 and it went back down to under $200 and it stayed at that for some time, I would consider that a bear market for that period of time. But I don't think we've retraced enough or long enough to be considered a bear market. Okay. Let's have a look at BHC. All right, let's have a look at that one. So let's go BHC. So BHC, which one's that one? Let's have a look. Which one's Chanel? Which one's BHC? BHC. I don't recognize that one. It's not coming up there. Maybe I've typed in the wrong ticker. If you can let me know about that. Market's still bearish. No. Will it affect the Chinese New Year? Yeah, good question. I mean, look, I would say that the Asian, from what I can see, the Asian markets are selling and the Western markets are buying. I would see that. So, the Chinese New Year, I don't know if it actually closes down the exchanges. Maybe it does. I'll have to check that out. If it affects, the supply and trading of that, I think Chinese New Year, you have to tell me when that starts. I can't remember when it starts. I'll have to check that out. But if it does shut down the exchanges and it makes it difficult for the Chinese to trade, then that could be a positive thing, because if they're selling off and Western is buying up, we could see some gains from that. So we might check out that. Also, g'day, it's Eston. How you doing, mate? So talking about Z Classic, is it going to crash in coming days? Well, it has had a big move, right? If you were into it before it took off, that would have been a much better position. I don't know if it's going to particularly crash, because I think there was nothing wrong with Z Classic beforehand. Okay, so it's been going for some time. It's been standing alone by itself. I think with the new Bitcoin private fork that's got coming, basically you're going to be getting some additional things. So it's like saying, did Bitcoin crash when it forked with Bitcoin Cash? And I wouldn't say no, it crashed. There might have been some adjustments or whatever like that, but I don't think it made a difference, whichever one was stronger. Now, if you've seen with forks, if something doesn't stand well and it's not going to be useful, basically the value drops off pretty quickly. So you might be holding Bitcoin private, but if they don't have enough people that want to hold on to it, they'll sell it off and the value will go down. Now, you're going to say, well, is the value of Z Classic going down? It could go down, and maybe that's a possibility. It just depends on what your position is. I would certainly say put something into it. I wouldn't say put too much that bet everything you're into it. But I just want to let you know that you can participate in it. But there always is a possibility that it will go down. I don't know I don't think it's going to go down before the fork. I think you'll see the fork happen, and then you might see some retracement, but I can't see it dumping back to where it was. Okay. Okay. Tommy says, very good Ripple project going forward. That's great, Tommy. I'm glad you like Ripple. Maybe you've made some good money off it. What are my views on privacy coins? Do I think if cryptocurrency gets regulated, there'll be a condition of banning privacy coins and tracing illegal will not be possible? Yeah, look, I think, do you remember when they really didn't know what they're doing with Bitcoin, and people used Bitcoin and they didn't know how to trace it, and now they can. And I think that it's going to be a trend. It's like anything. It's like, the usage of VPNs. That's becoming more and more something that people do. They use a VPN so that people don't know what they're doing. They use a VPN so they can get past firewalls and other restrictions that are in place. So I think crypto in this privacy coin is going to make a big difference this year, because more and more people realize that let's put it this way: Arizona in the US, Arizona just accepted crypto as a form of payment for tax. So you can pay your tax bill with crypto in the state of Arizona in the US now. So as this becomes more mainstream like that, they're going to be wanting to get their cut for the governments from taxing, okay? And they will do their best to tax. And with these coins, they will try and ban them, but they're not going to be able to ban them. They might make it so that they can't trade on centralized exchanges. That's a possibility. But they're going to run on decentralized exchanges. So I think they're just going to continue, and I think they'll hold a lot of value in those, and they'll continue to be used more. So yeah, I see a positive trend for the privacy coins. All right. Okay, Nikki, how you doing? G'day, Dean. So most central banks are on the Ripple. Is it a good potential Ripple ahead? Yeah, look, I don't really agree with that. I don't believe that the central banks are on Ripple. I just believe it's one company doing some deals with some banks. I don't really see much in Ripple at all. It's controlled by a very small amount of people that run the Ripple project. It's not like a decentralized project like some of the other coins, especially like how Bitcoin started. So yeah, look, I'm not really, not really into Ripple. possibly, Nikki. Ripple to be listed on Coinbase. I have heard rumors of that. That was nearly, I think, a month ago. There was talk of that. They may do it. I don't know. But they haven't done so far. I think Coinbase, look, there is some people don't openly say stuff, but they know exactly what things are. And they're not going to put something that they don't think is appropriate into their business. So there is a few places out there that don't support certain coins, and it's for reasons that basically whether they think them a scam or too centralized or too much of a risk. So if they put coins into Coinbase and something goes wrong, imagine like Coinbase put BitConnect, put that where you could buy BitConnect through Coinbase. That would, cause huge ramifications when there was a problem with BitConnect, okay, and everyone tried to get their funds out and stuff like that. So Coinbase does not want to be part of that, I don't believe. Now they might put Ripple in there, who knows? But I would think that it doesn't suit their purpose. I think they want things that like Litecoin and Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, and Ethereum all serve purposes for transferring, holding wealth, and that really have some utility. Ripple is purely speculative and is not actually being used by the banks. It's just the company that's providing services to banks is making money from it. Okay, so so that's great questions. I appreciate that. I've got a few of you guys on here. So we're at about the half an hour mark. I'll just see what else there was I wanted to cover, and then we might ask a question and we'll go from there. So let me just cover something. Let's close some of these windows down. All right, and I might just quickly talk about, so with the ICOs, I think I showed you a couple the other day. These ones are just finished. So these like 11th of February, Tether was a pretty good one. I got into Tether, and I've spoken about Tether before. Essentially, it's an app that you'll be able to... essentially, it's like an ATM with your own mobile phone. You'll be able to buy and sell Ethereum and ERC20 tokens at some stage, and essentially make transactions with an app. So this is kind of like a 2.0 of local Bitcoins, if you ever use that. So that's pretty exciting. That's happening. Some of these ICOs, like this one, Fusion, just ended 42 million. Tether was 13 million. Insights sold out 17 million. GBX Exchange 27 million. And as you can see, most of these happen once a day, twice a day. These are coming up. So there's a lot of ones that just listed. And if we go, I'll just have a look at some of the ended ones. So at the moment, the market is, it's pretty down, okay? And at the moment, we're in a bit of a sideways. But let's just have a look. We'll have a look at some random ones. Let's have a look at Data Wallet. I'll just see if they're trading on some exchanges yet. So I haven't checked these before, so I don't know whether they're up or down, or whether they're actually released yet. So nothing on that one. Let's have a look at Arc Block, 4th of February. That was only a few days ago. Nope, doesn't look like it's released yet. (31st of January). This is one, Haid. We'll have a look at that one. Just keep going. Historic Apex. Let's have a look at that one. 29th of January. I probably need to look a little bit further back. I've got to give them. Normally, you need month to 2 months before they sort of become tradable. Some of these take about a month before they can do it. Let's have a look at CP chain. See where they're at. Only 24th. Okay. Here's an example. So the other ones haven't hit yet, but here's CP chain. So since the ICO was at token price 10 cents. Okay, so it was 10 cents. Currently at 23 cents. We're at nearly 2.3x. So you would have doubled your money on CP chain. So yeah, some of you guys are like looking at, you'll see where the market cap, we're getting the moves of 10% or something like that. But with some of these ICOs, you can get like this is within a very short period of time. Literally since the 24th of January, you beat 2x your money already. And this is in the state of our market right now, where it's not crazy or anything like that. It's pretty much hasn't changed price in the last few days. And yet some of these are doing 2x. So that's like 200% returns. So that's pretty interesting for CP chain. I'll just grab another one. Now there has been some that have dropped in let's have a look at Inc protocol. That was 22nd of January. I'll just see if that's out on the exchanges yet. Not yet. Pundy X, we'll have a look at that one. That was an interesting one with Pundy X. It was basically like a little terminal for merchants. Okay, and as you can see, we're at 0.78 right now for Pundy X. So if you put in $1, you'd have about 78 cents. You would have lost money on that at the moment. Doesn't mean it's you're going to lose money in the future with that one, but that one's currently down. So this can happen with some of these ICOs, and obviously any trading that you do, with normal coins, it can happen as well. Let's have a look at Zpin. That was 18th of January. They raised like 62 million. You can see how this one went down. Right, I suppose this is right in the middle of it, 19th of January. So we're down nearly half. Okay, at the moment. Oh, sorry, that's Devery. Yeah, I remember that one. That wasn't the one I was thinking. I was thinking of Zpin. Try that one again. Devery. I did see Devery. Wasn't that interesting? Zpin's at 85, so 0.85. So at the moment, you've got to get into strong ICOs, just like you need to get into strong coins when the market. But at the moment, you can hold them for longer periods of time. Some of these haven't made it to the mainstream markets. Origin Trail, that one currently is at 1.88. So these are just some of the returns on some of these ones here. And this has been through this really tough time right now with the market. So as far as I'm concerned, they've done pretty well with the ICOs. And essentially with the trading, you would have to use different active trading strategies to be making money while the market's been going down. So you have to be a little bit, you can't just put your money in and then the price goes down and make money. We're not shorting the market, so it is a bit difficult to do it when the market's going down or what it's doing at the moment. But you just got to find good opportunities and strong coins that are going to do better. Okay, you just got to be more careful about what you get into. Alrighty, and we'll just see if you guys got any more questions at all. Nikki says, why do they need an ICO even if they do the apps without funding? Some of them can do. Some actually already companies that exist already have nearly made projects and do the ICOs. So some might argue that it's just a way for them to make money, and then that could be a possibility. There is ones that have just made money and they're not really going to bring a project to the market. And the thing is that they get found out pretty quickly and the price drops. And they might get their money, but it does damage to all those people involved. So there's no way that they can do another ICO or anything like that. Pretty much if they have or they can't do anything if they've done a bad project. No one's going to be interested. But I don't see that out there. It's sure there's a few that scam people and or don't deliver, but the majority of them have got strong teams, have got a roadmap, have got the funds to do it, and they're continuing on with their project. So, and those are the ones that are going to be around in 12 months' time and have their product out in the marketplace and generating cash flow. And you want to make sure that the utility is also part of that ecosystem. If the utility is not part of that ecosystem, there's no demand for that utility, that token, or that coin. So that's something you've got to be careful of. You've got to make sure that the utility of that token is tied in and that they can deliver, and also how long you want to wait. So yeah, most of the time with this sort of stuff, with ICOs, you might be looking at 2 to 4x or something like that. But if you're looking at 12 months, most of these coins, conservatively, like last year, there was coins that made basically between 10x and 50x last year. So it was a big year, and there's no reason why this year can't be the same sort of gains. Alrighty, so let's have a look. I might get on to picking a winner and we'll finish up. So let me think, what am I going to do? Let's have a look. I'm just going to ask a question and then I'll get you guys to put the answer in, and the first one that has the answer is going to win. So I'm just going to pick one. Okay, so I had a look at some of these ICOs, and we had a look at some of the previous ones before. Now what I want to know is, let me find a good question. Something that I just covered. Okay, so get ready. So the question is, what is the code or the token, the ticker for CP chain? First one wins $10 worth of Bitcoin Cash. Patiently waiting. We'll see who's going to be first. And Chanel does it. CPC. We have a winner. Congratulations. That is correct. CP chain. The ticker is CPC. Well done. So can you put your Bitcoin Cash address in there and I will pay you some Bitcoin Cash? Well done, Andre and Nikki. All right, well done. Okay, so I'm glad we have a winner. Let me just copy that now and let me know that you received it. Okay, just give me a second while I load up my Exodus. Just got to type in my password. Okay, hopefully that's unlocking now. I'm going to wallet, Bitcoin Cash, send, paste that in there. I'll just check that we got the right one. find the chat. Now that is Bitcoin Cash. Hell, is it? Because it's not telling me it's Bitcoin Cash. So you want to try copying and pasting that address in for me again? Make sure it's your Bitcoin Cash address, please. And if it, because at the moment Exodus is saying it's red. Yeah, so Exodus is telling me that it's not. Now, I don't know. I think I got the latest version of Exodus, but just double check that so I can pay you. That would be great. So that is awesome. So hopefully he'll get back to me in a minute with these things. Thank you everyone for participating. So I'm going to be doing more with the giveaways on the live, I think. The reason for that is so many bots coming through with the it's crazy, like so many bots, and people like today I banned another 3 people, and it takes the fun out of it. I get bored of, yeah, that looks like that one's going to work. So I'm just going to send $10 now. It's only going to cost 1 cent. And you should get that pretty much instantaneously. Just comment as soon as you get it. That'd be great. That's done. You are the second choice. I'm only doing 1 tonight, Andrea. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is basically with you guys live, I'm going to do the competitions while we're live, because I want people to participate and ask questions and we can learn stuff together. I think that's good. With the problem is with the bots, people are putting like, yeah, there's genuine people there, and that's really good. But a lot of them are just people doing 3 and 4 pretend no profile bots. So I really would like to see real people, and you guys that are on live are real people. So I appreciate that. All right, so I think we're going to wrap it up. We're at 48 minutes now. If you want to find out more about the ICOs, basically I've got a link below. A good friend, Angie Gavin, put together a course, and it's actually more than a course. It's basically a huge group of people now. There's over 200 members now, and there's a lot going on in that group. And I can tell you right now, we do weekly webinars where we talk about ICOs. So there's all the training with all the videos that go into that, and not only that, but it's not like a normal course where you just, you know, you pay your money and then you do your research and you're on your own. It's not like that at all. This group, we've got a Slack group at the moment, and basically you can get in there and ask any question you want, and everyone's friendly and helpful. And the thing is, like, people go, oh, well, do they actually make money? Yeah, they actually do make a lot of money. You've got NG's done extremely well, and you've got it's getting more and more now. There's just, you'll get in there and you'll see what people actually post, what ICOs they got into, how much money they made, you know, what successes they're having and stuff like that. And it's phenomenal. So, and you wouldn't believe it until you actually saw it. So that is something worthwhile if you want to get into ICOs. Obviously, not everyone's want to get into that. And you guys that aren't going to get into ICOs, that's okay. You can get into coins after they come out on exchanges, which is what I'll be talking about a lot. But if you do want to get into ICOs, click that link below. If you have any questions, you can always ask me. If you join, I'm always there to help you because I'm interactive in the webinars every week. So I'm part of that, and also part of the Slack group to answer your questions. So yeah, so that's available for you. As far as I'll be covering, I have talked about this before, but I might do some upcoming, there's a few coins, right, they've got some really good potential, I would say, this month, going into next month. So I want to talk about those. So I might do a separate video for those, and as soon as I get a chance, I will put that together and share that with you. So I hope you look forward to that. And if you have any suggestions on some coins that you think are part of, let's say the most undervalued coins, let's say, if you think you've got a coin that's undervalued and you think it's on the list, make sure you put it in the comments on this video after it gets posted. And I'll be sure to check it out just to see if it matches up with the ones that I've got. Because I love talking about new coins and which ones have got some real potential this year. Okay, so I appreciate everyone on board tonight. It's good to have you on here, and I will see you tomorrow. Okay, bye.